Fine dining, much more than fancy food. If you've never dined at a fine dining restaurant before, you may think it's a bit overrated and that people are crazy for spending so much money on their meals. But it's so much more than fancy food adorning a plate. Every minute detail that goes into preparing a meal and creating exemplary service is thoroughly thought out. It seems that a large amount of people have never been able to dine at a high-end establishment, and I think that everybody should get the chance to experience this at least once in their life. For me, having worked at Kai Restaurant for the past year, the only 5-star, 5-diamond rated restaurant in Arizona, I've been able to experience the ins and outs of the industry firsthand. Also, with this, my appreciation for quality food, high quality food and experiences also helps to cultivate my passion for the industry. Now, working in the fine dining is an incredible experience, but it isn't easy and it isn't like your typical restaurant service. So I'm here to tell you about what goes into the process of creating and executing seamlessly flawless dining experiences. During this speech, I will be informing you about the standards that must be followed in fine dining through Forbes AAA Michelin, the intricate steps of service to abide by, and what comes with obtaining and maintaining such high ratings. First, we'll begin by understanding the different rating systems that restaurants strive to be the best in. There are 3, Forbes AAA and Michelin. They all play a role in deciding the quality of restaurants all over the world. We'll start with Forbes. Forbes is a well-known business guide that you may know of, but you also may not know that they have their own travel guide. They base their ratings off of stars, with 5 stars being the highest rating that you can achieve that showcases that your restaurant is high above the rest. Next, we have AAA, which, yes, is the car insurance and auto service company that also has their own rating system. They use diamonds to distinguish the difference between regular and luxury dining, again with 5 diamonds being the highest. Finally, we have Michelin stars. They mainly rate restaurants in Europe and Asia, but have been starting to move over to North American fine dining as well. The highest Michelin rating is 3 stars, and each star takes many years to achieve. And losing one can be absolutely devastating on a restaurant and their success. Now, in order to achieve these high ratings, there are many intricate steps of service and standards to abide by. With great rankings comes great responsibility to ensure that your guests receive exceptional service and extraordinary meals that they will never forget. Execution of service must be very clean and very precise. Akila McConnell of About Travel explains that Forbes sends out anonymous inspectors to thousands of restaurants around the world and evaluates them based on over 800 criteria. Here are just a few of those. Food must be served from the left and drinks must be placed and poured from the right. All of the dishes in a course must come out at the same time and must be placed in front of each diner at the same time, with each server knowing which guest has which dish already without ever having to ask. All the diners must see that they are done eating before you can attempt to remove their plates from the right, and once the plates have been removed, a back server comes around and removes the crumbs. Along with this, silverware must be placed for the guests in the correct manner, aka knife on the right, fork on the left, before every course arrives. Staff must also be well-groomed, friendly, personable. No matter what your mood is that day, emotional labor must be part of your service. This means, as explained by Christine Lane in her book, The Cultivation of Taste, that the service staff have to smile even when they do not feel like smiling, and care for the customer even if they feel no affinity with them. Along with this, extensive knowledge about the restaurant and the ingredients going into the dishes is a must. Staff has an arsenal of information about both the ingredients and their sources, and describes each dish in full detail to the guests. Hopefully you've begun to see what it takes to be the best, and once you've achieved these high ratings, it doesn't stop there. Each night of service has to be up to standards always, meaning once you have achieved your 5 stars or 5 diamonds, it doesn't mean you can just slack off and expect to keep your ratings. Anticipatory service is definitely part of this. It's necessary, especially to auditors. In Phoebe Demrosh's memoir about her time working in fine dining, she states that the secret to service is not servitude, but anticipatory desire. Having the ability to read your guests and know what they want before they can even ask only helps to heighten their experience. You see, auditors come in at least once a year, and sometimes audits are done multiple times throughout a period to see if you're running your restaurant continuously up to standards. Too many slip-ups can lose you a star or a diamond, therefore ruining all the hard work that you put in to achieve it. Because of the stress caused by these audits, some chefs don't even want to go through the process anymore. This is mainly due in part to Michelin. According to Sam Kashner in his article, Why Some of the World's Most Famous Chefs Don't Want a Michelin Star, he states many call the star a curse because of the high expectations it raises among customers, while also placing extreme pressure on the staff. See, it's so much more than serving fancy, expensive dishes of food to guests. So much passion and dedication goes into every little detail in fine dining. I hope that through my speech you have learned more about the standards set in place for fine dining from Forbes, AAA, and Michelin, the complex, highly involved steps of service that take place, and that it's not always being at the top. If there is one thing that I would have liked you to get out of my speech tonight, it would be that fine dining is an art form from start to finish. I promise if you ever come to Kai, we'll make sure to blow your minds and give you a dinner you'll never forget.